down with OTC? Are you down with OTC? OTC. Are you down with OTC? Are you down with OTC? OTC. Are you down with OTC? Down with OTC. Down with OTC.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Who's down with OTC?
Who's down with OTC?
Hi, Jeff. I'm totally down with it, Jeff.
Now all of a sudden you're lagging in. We start out and you just lagged right into it. So welcome to On the Chain. There we go. Today we're going to get into a little bit of the Ripple XRP. There's been a little bit of media FUD in the space. There's a little bit of conversation over BTC bubbles and wars on crypto. But more importantly, we're also going to be going over a statement on Gensler, because Gensler's confirmation hearing is coming up, I believe, tomorrow. And there's a little bit of a statement that we want to dig into, and we're going to read that. And then we're going to chart all the way back to 2009 and look at some of the vote that took place when he was confirmed to the CFTC back in 2009 as well. So all of that and more. What do you think? Right now?
Right now.
Welcome to On the Chain with Jeff and Chip.
Chip, what is going on, man?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've created, well, we have time, about 3 minutes. We have the longest open in history. I've created a third open. Let's run it. Ready? Let's go.
Let's go.
People always complain about that, Jeff. By the way, we had just a fantastic night. Hey, home base, what's going on? Finally here for the opening. Sweet. See, home base doesn't complain. Super happy about it. Long Island TV in New York. Oh, I hate Long Island. By the way, we're going to get into some stuff about New York, too.
TV. New York.
New York is also. So drop in there where you got it from. But there's some exciting stuff coming up I think this statement, Jeff and I were digging down on this, kind of like reading between the lines and about this Gary Gensler. His hearing is tomorrow, the confirmation hearings to make him he probably has the votes, not a problem, but he still has to go through the confirmation process. They'll ask him questions, he'll respond, they take a vote, and then he's confirmed as the SEC chair. So that'll happen tomorrow, Jeff. But we've got a secret preview right here, Jeff.
We do.
We need a radio station. Yeah, you know what? That's station. By the way, that's a really good idea. You know that David Sloan, I would say, is a good-looking kid, and he's got some great ideas. I mean,
right? Yeah,
a radio station.
Hell yeah, we need a radio station.
Guys, we do have a podcast. Yeah, you go to any podcast software, whether it's Google or Apple or Spotify, you type in "On the Chain," and there we are.
Hey,
so you subscribe.
Goran volunteered, said when XRP hits 1,000, he's going to buy us one. See?
I like that. We're going to take you up on that. Jeff, archive that tweet, that little message right there is for later. We're going to get into that. We're definitely going to get into that because, man, when it goes did he say when he gets 1,000 XRP? When it goes to 1,000?
When it goes to 1,000.
Okay, just checking. Just checking on that. So let's kind of break this down the way we like to do on the chain here, but let's do this. So this is the preview of Gary Gensler's Senate nomination hearing. This is they always open it with a prepared speech, and we have it early, 12 hours before it actually starts, or whenever it's going to start tomorrow. But a typical open, but we kind of found some interesting stuff in here, so we wanted to get an idea. Here's a preview of what Gensler made. Hey, Dubai, what's going on out on Twitter?
Karma. There? Good karma over in Dubai.
Very good karma. And we want to get a little preview here. So, his opening statement, Chairman Brown, ranking member Toomey, he says hello. It's a very congratulatory thing. He says he spent his entire professional career in and around the financial markets, in the private sector, in state and federal government, and now in academia. And I believe our markets are the finest in the world. Let's just drill down on that statement right there. I believe our markets are the finest in the world. He's kind of setting it up, a little foreshadowing here, Jeff, in the very opening statement.
I like that. I like the opening statement. I believe the same thing.
Yeah, and this is what we all believe. And right, and this is a very different, this is kind of a departure. Then he goes on to say, but they did it way through hands. In the shadow of the Great Depression, Congress created the SEC to protect who, Jeff? Investor in fair, orderly, and efficient markets.
You're getting choppy. You're chopping out.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I've cleaned everything up on my side, so I don't know. So let me start over. Can you hear me or no?
Still, yeah, no.
Tell me if I'm choppy and it's Jeff's internet. Tell me if it's me or him, because I have everything cleared, restarted my computer. I'm running things clear. I got 32 gigs of RAM, so I want to know. Chip the road. That's not good.
Dial up. No.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to do this. I might have to restart my router and come in. It's going to be a problem.
It might be that, or it could just be that you're sharing this
no,
buggy, PDF.
I got plenty. I got a smoking machine here.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't have any issue. It's
so if am I someone says he can hear me. So
yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, go.
All right.
Go.
So I want to get in the shadow of the Great Depression, Congress created the SEC to protect investors, maintain orderly and efficient markets, and take capital formation. Since we've seen that when the SEC does its job, when there are clear rules of the road and a cop on the beat to them, our economy grows and prospers. And right there,
I think that's a key statement right there, saying the decades since we've seen that when the SEC does its job. I think that's even more important now than ever. Mainly because we're seeing the SEC not necessarily doing their job. We're seeing the SEC kind of doing nothing, not the right things, because here it says when there are clear rules of the road and a cop on the beat to enforce them, but clear rules of the road, regulatory clarity, something that has been requested of the SEC, of Congress when it comes to digital asset, when it comes to the blockchain space. but he underlines one of the most significant elements of all of this, because we're also seeing some real big impacts on the economy right now. But he's saying here, our economy grows and our nation prospers. So you put this all together, all of this is going to be really critical.
Yeah, it's gonna be super. I'm having an internet issue right now, so I did see
Yep.
that. Nothing
Yep.
I can do about it. I just live in a place where the internet sucks bad, and I have one choice, and the other choice is dial-up.
Dial-up. Let's go dial-up.
No, I pay a lot for this. Unfortunately, my last house was too. That way, I had fiber. I can't get fiber here, so there you go.
Yeah. Well, here
it says.
Yeah, look. Yeah, go ahead.
When you take our eyes off the ball, we fail to wrongdoing or to adapt. There he is right there. Adapt to new technologies. Or to really understand novel instruments, things can go very wrong. And when that happens, people get hurt. Jeff, I'm going to restart my router.
What's been happening. Yeah, you
and
restart your router.
I'll be back
and
in here in a second.
We'll talk
Give me a
about some other
second.
things until you get back. All right. Hey, it's just us. This is great. So on the kind
It's
of
not
on
that
par
great,
with
Jeff. I'm
what he's
still
talking
here.
about.
I'm still.
Oh, come on. Get out of here. Get out of here. So, it's really crazy. If we go back to 2009, I dug it up. I said, all right, let's look at the confirmation of Gensler back in 2009. And one of the things that he brought up, which was really critical, because 2009, coming off of a major, economic meltdown due to the housing crisis, and you look at what he was up against and some of the things that he had to take on. Now, at that time, there were, out of everybody voting in the Senate, you had 88 yes. So you had a by far, bipartisan yes to support him. Now there are 5 individuals from the progressive left that chose not to vote. You had somebody from West Virginia not voting. There were actually, a couple. Well, I would say the majority of those that didn't vote were Democrat. And then here's one Republican that didn't vote, but 88 voted yes to confirm him. So what I'm looking at, and that was for the CFTC, he did a pretty good job, when he got in there. So now, as we're looking forward to the SEC, now he's facing again where we need bipartisan support, because it doesn't do any good if you're going to have partisan support and you put someone like him in, especially right now when it's so critical. And some of those statements that he was making that were very, very specific to, we need to make sure that that the SEC is doing its job. And if it's doing its job the right way, then the economy has a chance of growing, and you have an opportunity to truly embrace the technology. And that's another element that he was focusing in on, is technology. And there's an intersect of technology and finance. And that's exactly what he was emphasizing and keying in on, because if we don't embrace the technology, and if you look at this purely from a business perspective, if the U.S. is slipping right now in the digital asset, in the blockchain space, mainly because of a lack of regulatory clarity, now you see a lot of scrambling going on. You see a lot of scrambling going on in New York as well, because there's some things going on and some interesting statements coming from the Attorney General in New York. And obviously, we see the Attorney General in New York going after Tether, but now they're ramping up their objective, and I'm not so sure that the Attorney General in Florida the Attorney General in New York is going to be that pro growth, economic growth. It seems that some of the threats here, again, not 100% bad otherwise, but one of the big statements that came out of the Attorney General into the cryptocurrency industry is play by the rules or you will get shut down. Now, what exactly does that mean? Because what are the rules? What are the rules of the game? If there's no regulatory clarity, then what rules are you playing by, and whose rules are you playing by? So here it says, so you have Attorney General Letitia James. This was just today, warned individual investors and the cryptocurrency industry members about the dangers of digital assets. Warn people of the danger of digital assets. So what does she know exactly about the digital asset space, because then she goes on and says, we're sending a clear message to the entire industry that you either play by the rules or we'll shut you down. Now, that to me doesn't sound like we're trying to embrace the technology and figure out how you move forward. That to me sounds like a clear threat that we want to target the new technology that's growing and building. And now this is at a time where New York is seeing a fleecing of money that's leaving New York, primarily New York City, going anywhere but, mainly because of the burden, the economic burden of people living and trying to work and exist in New York City. Now, when you have this type of a focus, now not even just from this perspective, if you look at it and say, okay, so they're cautioning and they're threatening against crypto industry, but just think about the punitive damage to individual retail investors. Now, the SEC is supposed to protect retail investors. The Attorney General should be a little concerned about crypto companies that could be taking advantage of retail investors. But that's not what she said here. She warned individual investors and crypto industry members about the dangers of the digital assets. Now, Coinbase, Uphold, and many of the other exchanges found it extremely difficult to open in New York. Then, in fact, if you look at XRP, when you're talking about an airdrop of the Spark token, anybody that is in New York that is on the Coinbase exchange that was holding XRP that had an assumption of getting that airdrop is being penalized, which is extreme punitive damages to these individual investors, mainly because of who knows what. Is it a political ambition of the Attorney General? What is it? What exactly is this punitive damage that they're levying against investors and builders in the space? So what we were talking about in the beginning, we can kind of get back to it and kind of dig in now that Chip is back, but hey, maybe we'll kick Chip out again.
No, I haven't. No, I just did a speed test,
Man,
Jeff, and it's
so
like I was
much
getting
better.
1.5% and 3%,
Awesome.
3 megabits. So I get 250 down. I'm supposed to get 20 up, and it was crawling. When I did the test while we were doing this, was 3.5.
Oh
Supposed to be 20.
That's when you got to
So
kill it.
I restarted it. We might have some issues, but we'll see. Let's try it
You're
again.
pretty solid now. You can
Let's see.
tell because the image is like crystal clear.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna have to. Is it doing it again or no?
No, it's perfect.
Okay.
No, it's good.
So let's jump to this other. Holy crap! Oh, you know what happened? I lost my highlights because I don't know why.
That's okay. That's
Oh, you know why? That's right. I know why. Here,
where
why?
the highlights are.
There it is. So we talked about this one thing about the taking your eyes off the ball, but look at this one right here. He says, if confirmed as the SEC chair, I'll work with my fellow commissioners, including crypto enforcement mom, the SEC's exceptional staff, and the members of Congress to ensure our markets remain the world's best. That means strengthening transparency, accountability in our markets so people can invest with confidence, Jeff, not get railroaded into
exactly
some
what we want.
right? And be protected from the fraud and manipulation. It means promoting efficiency and competition.
We need
so
to
our
be
markets
from the SEC.
Right. Who's going to protect us from them? So our markets can operate with lower cost to companies and higher returns to investors. And here's the key word phrasing. It means making sure companies, incumbents, and entrepreneurial startups alike can raise needed capital to innovate, expand their operations, and contribute to economic growth.
That's right. Underline that, innovate. Because if you don't allow the incumbents and any startup to actually raise the capital, it's going to be extremely difficult to innovate. That's a strong statement. That's a really strong statement. And while you were gone and you came back in on it, I was talking about the Attorney General over in New York and how, punitive she's getting against individuals. And we're seeing the damage to investors in New York, but we're seeing damages to investors in XRP, mainly because the SEC was not doing their job up until this point. There was too much division and too much, conflict, within the ranks over here, and we're still seeing it because even without Gensler, and I think Gensler is very straight to the point with what he's saying. And if they don't confirm him, I'd be shocked, because just
No, they will. They will. There's no doubt.
as you dropped out, I went back and I was looking at the confirmation back in 2009 when he was appointed to the CFTC. 88 yes, so it's 88. 6 didn't vote and 5 said no. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, this is a Democrat Congress, so they're not having any issues. And then the Republicans are sleeping. They're like, they just want to get out of there. And
well, they're going to vote for him anyway. They voted last time, so that's
right. They just want to have a drink.
It's bipartisan. It's going bipartisan. It has to go bipartisan.
Yeah. Oh, well, but look at this here. Here's another. We cannot take any of this for granted. Markets, technology, they're always changing. Our rules have to change along with them. He's taken some nice shots at the former SEC, kind of like he's taking some shots here. In the current role as a professor at MIT, I research and teach on the intersection of technology and finance. I believe financial technology can be a powerful force for good, but only if we continue to harness the core values of the SEC in service of investor, issuers, and the public. So he's throwing down the gauntlet right there, basically saying that, we can't take it for granted, and he believes that our markets are the finest, which going in he should, but he's not being adversarial. He's being very positive in the fact that we've got to protect entrepreneurs. But more importantly, he's recognizing, what I love about this, Jeff, is he's recognizing the main role of the SEC, which is to protect investors. And he's kind of hinting there that they haven't done such a good job at that.
That's right. Right. Hey, Reg always, throws in some good comments here with the NYSDFS gave Ripple a bit license, and that was clarity. Blocking Spark to New York is a crime. Yeah, and that seems to be on Coinbase. What's up with Uphold? Are people in New York are able to use Uphold? Well, no. They can't use Uphold. That's right. Uphold's not an option.
It's not an option. It's horrible there, Jeff. I mean, I feel so bad for people in New York.
If you have a ledger and you're in New York and you were able to keep your XRP on the ledger, then I wonder if you get the airdrop then. Or is there some...
No.
Or is it just Coinbase, or is it New York in general is just a non-airdrop state?
I don't think you got it, but so I got this. I put this tweet out here, Jeff. That got a lot of play right here. It said, this article came out. It said, New York Attorney General warns cryptocurrency industry play by the rules. Right? What are the rules, Jeff? Well, just if you make a misstep, we will crack you in the knuckles with a metal-edged sort of a ruler, and then well, what are the rules? Nobody knows what the damn rules are. This is the whole point. Nobody knows there's rules. Look at this. I had to laugh at this one because this one made me laugh. When you have ID10Ts such as Attorney General for the financial capital of the world, that's a sign it's the end. I just don't know where the financial capital will move to. My guess is Tokyo. That was fun.
Tokyo's
Who made the rules and when?
Florida.
Excellent point. Florida. Yeah.
Bringing it down here.
There are so many fun. There are so many fun. Yeah, they might have to, Jeff.
Everything's coming to Miami. Don't worry.
This was fun too. This is the first rule of the Federal Reserve is you don't talk about the Federal Reserve. Second rule, you don't challenge them. It'll crash when they're good, damn, and well and ready. That was fun, man.
That's great. It's awesome.
Where are they, man? Nobody knows. And then this received conference. Oh, you received the airdrop. Okay. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, because you were using a ledger, right? Mark Phillips says, "Oh, there are rules. Of course, the SEC won't tell you what they are, and then they'll sue you for violating them. Kind of like driving with a blindfold on." Of course, that was pretty funny.
Thought that was funny, didn't you?
I thought it was a little bit funny. I love this. This is the guy that I love when he just when he laughs. It's a good one, man.
That's awesome.
It's a good one. Yeah, it's a good one. So Gary Gensler. Gensler looks like he's going to come in, wants to crack a few skulls, wants to make some stuff happen, Jeff, which I think is just phenomenal, man.
Yeah, he wants to get it on track. On track. Now, the SEC also did come out with some statements here about risk alerts on digital asset securities. So it says the U.S. SEC has discussed risk alert on digital asset securities. According to the SEC, they examine a lot more issues before they permit any crypto company to operate. What? I read some of this stuff. I'm like, really? Is this for real? The U.S. and this is on investing.com. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has addressed risk alerts in reference to digital asset securities. The SEC gave the alert based on how crypto companies offer, issue, and trade cryptocurrencies. I don't understand where these guys come from, honestly. I don't even know. I mean, how is this even for real? SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce, also known as Crypto Mom, took the SEC's risk alert to Twitter and asked people to share their ideas.
That went well.
So are they really looking at this? Because if they're really looking at this and really doing the due diligence that they made this statement on that they do, would we be in this position right now? Would they be going after Ripple after 8 years of sitting on their hands? You know, is this just confusing?
Hester Pierce has become, Hester Pierce, she's enforcement mom. That's what she is. She almost forgets that she's in an organization that has single-handedly trying to destroy all these companies, right? You're like, let's pretend we're not, what do you guys think about the risk alert? What? It is insanity, Jeff. It really, what they're doing right now is just kind of silly. It's just a silly sort of a...
Yeah. Yeah, and then Mr. K, 10 years into a new ecosystem of trade, and now they make a statement like that. I mean, could you imagine? It's so crazy. It really is. You know, the more you get into this stuff, the more you dig up. It's just, I don't know. I'm sticking by my assumption that these guys are all running around with their shoes untied. You know, it's like preschool. You know, it's like
remember you were in school,
kids have their ties. You know,
but you remember that, Jeff? Like, it was a kid was sitting in front of you in class, and everybody would like secretly crawl up and undo the tie, and then like tie them together. And the kid got up and fell. That's what the SEC is doing, right? So check out how John Deaton So Hester Pierce says the SEC's exam division released a risk alert on digital assets. I welcome your feedback. John Deaton's like, really? Is that a serious question? The SEC is clearly engaging in regulation by enforcement in the Ripple case. So we, the public, will do the same as the SEC. Our feedback is coming in the form of a class action lawsuit. I call it feedback through litigation. So
I like that statement. That's strong.
Yeah. So guess what? There's a class action in motion. Deaton put out a tweet on it. I'll jump in. I'll go find it. But basically, you guys can become part of this class action. He wants it to have enough people to be strong. I did chat a little bit with him on social today about it, offering to help. I proposed something to him as a potential help. But so you can see all the things that are happening on, this person has an opinion about this and this person has an opinion. This man right here is single-handedly, John Deaton is single-handedly taking on the SEC with a class action lawsuit. He calls it feedback through litigation.
I love it, man. We need to keep that one going. I love that. Feedback through litigation. I mean, that's solid. That is, she asked for a comment. There you go. Here's your feedback. I mean, what kind of insanity is that? I mean, it's almost like, they're not the SEC. They're like, some little, I don't know, some little club in some homeowners association. Oh, this is going to be so great. Let's get the community's feedback on this before we do anything. I mean, community feedback. That's insane. I like this. Free MPG. The big news from Mock Crypto is they're posting rocket emojis on SEC stationery.
I mean, you try to be cute, and it just doesn't come off. It's like when people try to tell a joke, and they're just not joke tellers, and that just doesn't come off well. It's just kind of the same thing. I mean,
he's taken to social media, Chip, kind of like, you remember in the beginning when AOC first got elected somehow back a couple years ago, and she was doing her Twitter rants, and she was drunk and drinking wine and kind of stumbling all over herself and doing all sorts of crazy. You don't remember that?
I do. Yeah, I do remember it.
Oh, you do remember that? Okay.
That was fun stuff, man.
So it's the same thing. So here she is doing the exact same thing. Hey, man, you know what? You know what I got to say? What I got to say?
Come on, man, berserker.
Berserker.
That's what I got to say.
Berserker.
Oh man, what crazy stuff! Does it just get any better or what?
It is getting better. Sorry, man. I'm really trying to find this stuff. John tweets a lot, man. But there is. I wanted to drop this in the chat so people can then reach out to him. But I'll get to it.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, man, I want to talk a little bit about MoneyGram. Yeah, you know what? I just realized my monitor's not plugged in.
Well, there you go.
Oh, no wonder I can't see anything on that monitor. It's not plugged in. How do you like that? So I was going to talk a little bit about this MoneyGram thing, but you know how MoneyGram is currently not using the whole ODL thing at this point, mainly
Yeah,
because
right.
of the SEC case. So it comes out a couple days ago. MoneyGram says they discontinued the relationship with Ripple XRP in December. They said it was due to XRP being sued by the SEC. So I look at this, I'm like, oh man, MoneyGram is now another victim, but it's not just MoneyGram, it's those that they deal with have now become victims of this whole case as well, because there was a lot of benefit that MoneyGram was getting out. MoneyGram wasn't using ODL for the retail transfer of money, but they were utilizing the ODL for forex, and that was really important to them. So the CEO of MoneyGram came out and he explained that MoneyGram would buy XRP on U.S. cryptocurrency exchanges with U.S. dollars. Then XRP would move on the blockchain to a foreign currency exchange. There would be converted into the local currency and deposited into MoneyGram accounts. So it was kind of like the in between. The company said it had been able to reduce forex risk by offering almost real-time settlements using XRP, but now they can't do that. So it's done. And he says that some 15% of the company's EBITDA, I know what is that, EBITDA, last year had come $38 million in net market development fees from XRP. So it was massive. And it says here the partnership had boosted MoneyGram's bottom line by reducing working capital needs and generating additional revenue. So all this great stuff. And then it says forfeiting fees. MoneyGram expects its Q1 results to take a hit from this loss of revenue, as well as a decline in investment revenue because of lower interest rates. I mean, how crazy is this? Right. So another victim, Chip. I mean, it's massive, all because of the SEC sitting on their hands for 8 years and now all of a sudden deciding to do this. So it's retail investors, but think about all the people that have been using MoneyGram for money movement, and they're moving money and they're saving money and they have this great stellar year. And so now they have to make that money up from somewhere. Are the fees going to go up? Are they going to try to find other places to offset this? I mean, the whole thing is crazy. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't have any thoughts on that. I wanted to get back to I don't really have much thought, man. I really don't.
That's your key thought.
I think it's ridiculous. That's my
that's
key thing.
That's what you need to say that.
It's silly, is what it is.
There you go.
So look at this. I found the Deaton tweet right here. XRP holders versus U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission notice of pending legal action. Please forward to any XRP holder who owns XRP wishes to join the class action lawsuit about to be filed against the SEC. Please advise after I file the lawsuit, I must demonstrate to the court I'm able to notify the potential members of the class action in order to have the case be certified as a class action lawsuit pursuant to the federal rules. The notice may be by one or more of the following: U.S. mail, electronic means, or other appropriate means. One viable means is social media. Obviously, Twitter is not going to serve only a means of communicating, but as potential members of the action, there are other means available. I'm going to skip through some of this stuff. XRP holders that owned XRP on December 22nd, 2020 are likely to be considered the most relevant claimants. Why? Because this is who was affected when the suit was dropped. At this point, we want to demonstrate the ability to ascertain potential members in the class, actual members of the class. Therefore, I'm looking for all persons, and that's probably you, who owned XRP on December 22nd. Understand that the notice does not constitute any promises or assurances that any particular person will be included, nor is it a promise or assurance that anyone will receive, blah, 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 blah. And then he gets down to right here. And he says, if you're receiving a request, and if you ever have any concerns or questions, contact me at the Deaton Law Firm. And this is the email that he's using right here. He wants you to email him your name, your email, obviously when you email him, but phone number, just in your name, so he can include you as part of that class action. He wants it to appear strong, and that's one of the things. So let me do this. Let me go ahead and copy this puppy, and then I'll drop it in there. So you guys can click on that right there, open it up in a window, and then after the cases file, we can see got information. I don't want to give an impression. You must contact me immediately, so you don't have to. He just wants to show some standing, but there's the DM him on Twitter or email him, and if you do both, it'll help make sure your name's included. That's it. So John Deaton's actually jumping out there doing something about this. And I think it's awesome, man. I think it's awesome. He's writing stuff. He's battling. And meanwhile, other people are giving opinions. He's actually doing something on behalf of the who? XRP community. Fighting the good fight. He's a beast, man. He's going full beast mode on the SEC. He's like, take no prisoners. We call it enforcement through litigation. What was his statement? That was funny, man.
And
hilarious. Now Jeff,
I gotta go plug my monitor in. I'll be back.
Oh, Jeff's plugging his monitor in. So while he's doing that,
dude, my mic is unplugged. Everything got messed up. What the hell is going on here?
Well, you're still on air, Jeff, so we can still hear you. We can hear you. We can't see you. We can still see. We can still hear you. Yeah, John Deaton for president. I like that, Ronnie Size. That's exactly right. The guy's doing an amazing bang up job. Number means something. Get your name on the table. Yeah, numbers do mean something, and that's kind of what he's really kind of hoping for here. But because of class action, you can get involved with it later. There's a formality once it's actually, if you guys have ever been part of one, sometimes it goes, you want to participate in the class action? I've been like, yeah. And sometimes you end up getting a check 4 years later for $12.70. Now, my neighbor, I just happened to be walking by him one day, and he opens up the thing, and he goes, oh my gosh, wow, I forgot about this. And what was it? He goes, I joined a class action lawsuit. I'm like, well, that's cool. Did you get more than like 12 or 15 or 20 bucks? He goes, I got $1,850. See, part of it is that they do have a pool. If there are damages, they do earmark some money. It's all based on who joins the class action, but there's always a way to do it. What John Deaton's trying to do right now is show numbers, right? And that's what Mr. K is saying. He's trying to show the numbers, and he's trying to get it in there so that, but don't worry about it. If you don't get in, there'll be plenty of information. Believe me, every YouTuber out there will be talking about the class action. But I love the fact that he's doing it. Jeff, he's not sitting back. He's actually making something happen,
That's key, man. You have to have, it's really important when, you get doers in the field here, so you're going to find them. And this, I'm really surprised. I mean, I don't want to say I'm surprised, but I'm pleasantly surprised to see, and the fact that we had John Deaton on, we got to talk to him. He's actually doing something. I mean, he's putting it all out there. A lot of attorneys, they're not going to have the guts to put it up there like that. So he put together a good case. He's going to have to, we'll see how it all turns out. But I mean, that's a big deal. It really is. Take on the SEC.
No, it's a huge deal, and I love it. And something else too, sometimes you're a project out there and you want to do a fork. You want to think, hey, I think we know how to do this better, which is fine. And sometimes that works, but sometimes it doesn't go over so well. And somebody was on here, I think, and again, I'll probably hear about it in the chat, but somebody was saying, hey, Chip, talk about Casino Coin. Jeff, talk about Casino Coin. Now we have a reason. Now we have a reason to talk about it because
why?
Casino Coin said, hey, we got a fresh start, swap, restructure, and rebrand announcement. We'll follow it up with an Ask Me Anything on Tuesday, the 2nd of March at 11 p.m. UK time on Twitch. And so XRPL Labs said this is quite significant because Casino Coin's moving back to the XRP ledger. Nice. This is a great step for both Casino Coin and the XRPL ecosystem. More utility, broadening audience, and technology and contributions by the Casino Coil ecosystem to the XRPL, powerful infra and tech for Casino Coin. Also, Monica Long, she put out a nice tweet here. Congrats to the team at Casino Coin. Great use of the issue token feature in XRPL. And then we had this.
Too late to invest. Man, look at this. It's up 216%.
I meant to get into that, and I was like, yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, why didn't you say something? I would have bought a ton of it. Look at this. We're 30 days, 30-day mark, 1,445%. It's up 165% year over for the year, but for the past 30 days, up almost 1,500%. Come on, 14 days, it's up 997%. Man, where am I? Where am I sitting on this one?
I don't know. We
But
talked about this
still
earlier,
don't
Jeff.
I know we're talking about this. I still don't understand the use. I was reading the use case. You know what? You know what turns me off on it is the name of it, Casino Coin. I don't like the name of it and their utility. I was reading through. I'm not saying not good project any at all, but you know they're using it for regulated industry. Casinos being one of the regulated industries. But I think there's other regulated industries it can be applicable to. I'm that's the only thing that really turned me off on the whole idea.
I actually think
Casino
it's good.
coin.
I actually think it's good. I mean, I thought it was a good idea when they got it introduced, but I think part of the problem was, this is part of the problem. They were on Casino Coil Ledger. What they did was they tried to do their own thing, and it was a mistake.
It didn't work.
It didn't work, and it didn't go over well. And then there were a lot of dropouts in communication. I knew people who were in Casino Coin years ago, and there was no Rob Cash did a nice video on this today, which I thought was yeah. Rob Cash did a video, and it was like he was talking about, you know, they did a statement in January, and then they're always apologizing for not having a statement. Like they come out, they say, we appreciate it's been some time since the last communication. Today we're confident we can bring you updates. Sounds like they also have some deals in place. I think they were held back by not having enough money to scale. That was part of the issue that they had. They said multiple parties come forward to look and repair relationships, work with the team, take Casino Coin further. And with that, we've been able to reach out new agreements to find a new clear strategy for moving forward. And we also secured considerable additional investment funding led by the Knox Group of companies and the Isle of Man to ensure that we're able to deliver on the new strategy. So that's a key thing because, you know, they didn't have a clear focus. Now it seems like they've got the necessary money. They got the you know, partnerships going back on again. It's a really cool thing.
Yeah, dude, I like that. I like the fact they moved over to the ledger. I think it's the XRP ledger is
super
key.
smart, dude. Super
and
smart.
Joel, what is up, Joel from Canada? Appreciate that. Do you know if we can watch the GG confirmation hearing? Anyone know what time it's scheduled?
It'll be on C-SPAN. Yeah, it'll be on C-SPAN. It'll be on C-SPAN. Actually, I'm gonna look.
I'm like sure in the morning.
Yeah, it'll be on C-SPAN. Usually the hearings happen in the morning, but I'll check the C-SPAN schedule and see what they have here.
Yep. Nice.
But you can watch that. They also have a YouTube channel too. But you know, the good news about it is that they'll find people who are great researchers, and they'll like get the little snippets out of there. But it's going to be interesting to hear what some of the questions are. I'm pretty much sure that they're gonna. Here we go. C-SPAN schedule. Here we go. And maybe I can drop that in there. Here we go. And my gosh, is this
what do you got? Come on, let's go. It's tomorrow. The hearing's tomorrow.
No, I know when it is.
Everything is asking. So it is the Senate hearing tomorrow.
Yeah, it is tomorrow. It's the 2nd. That's why we read the statement that he's going to read tomorrow morning when he is. Right. But I don't know. This site is atrocious.
What is that? C-SPAN?
Of course it is. Yeah, it looks as bad as it.
10 a.m. JM said 10 a.m. So forget about their site. It's on at 10 a.m. There you go. It's been confirmed.
Yeah, but people want to watch it though. And if you're in Canada, you're not watching C-SPAN. I don't even know if you have
XTC and Corda. You know what, Chip? We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the payment space. I believe that anything in the payment space is a viable option. To the point where Payoneer, you got to look into Payoneer. It's another company in the payment space. Has nothing to do with blockchain that I know of, but they're in the payment space just like PayPal and some of the others. But anything developing in this space right now, eventually it's probably we'll weed it out, figure out which one's going to be the winner. But man, XTC, Corda is not really something we can invest in unless you're able to invest somehow in R3. But man, XTC and Zinfin, those guys, I think they're onto something as well. And all of a sudden, XTC's blowing up. What do you think?
Well, Jeff, you know, I mean, XTC, I like it a lot. I mean, I think again, it has a lot of good fundamentals. I think you're absolutely right about this. You know, when you look at good fundamentals of any project, you know, you have to kind of look at when you look at the payment space. Is it a project trying to solve a problem? And the partnership with Corda, it's specific verticals that it's going after. A good document came on this today. I want to share this in the chat because I thought this was really good today too. Let me see, where is it? We have so much stuff today, Jeff. My good Lord, I can't Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here it is right here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's look at this. Let's open this puppy up, and I'll go ahead and share my screen. And there we go. And we go cancel. So this was something I think just saw James Rule XRP. But this is a Zinfin guide that kind of talks about the project, what it's doing, working on BlockCheck's struggles, and it's got some videos here. But I'll drop this in there if you guys are interested in reading this. There's some good stuff in here. Bamity bam. And it's a protocol designed around the use of smart contracts to automate transactions by using them in conjunction with their Zinfin delegated proof of stake. This consensus algorithm makes use of 108 master nodes to provide low transaction fees. Where have we heard that before, Jeff? And achieve transactions, right? And transaction confirmation and speeds up to 2 seconds, right? So if you look at this right here, this is also on their website. Now it's funny because they're not comparing it to the people in their space, they're comparing it to other ones. So if you against Bitcoin or Ethereum, they're saying there's 2,000 transactions per second. It's like a drop 0.0001 USD versus 20 cents or 13 or whatever. 10 to 16 minutes for Bitcoin, and that's being nice. 10 to 20 for Ethereum, and super high gas price fees, or 2 seconds with finality. So there you go. Again, it's a project. It's doing some good stuff, and you know, man, I got to tell you, it's what Jeff and I are.
We need to get a node. We need to set up a validator. How great
we do that? Last time we tried to do that, it didn't work out. We needed 10. Is that what do we need 10 million of?
We need 10 million XDC.
Okay, so Chip and Jeff are taking a collection. We need 10 million XDC. We'll open up our own node. It sounds pretty simple, Jeff. I think we can do it.
The on-the-chain community node validator, XDC validator. That'd be sweet. It'd be called the OTC community validator for XDC. But we need to find 10 million of those XDCs first.
You know, yeah, well, that's part of it. But you know the thing about Goldman Sachs and all these big banks. Did I just go out again?
Goldman Sachs. How about this one, Chip? Yeah, and this is where anybody in this space is subject to being terminated by YouTube or Twitter or anything like that. CoinDesk got taken down, got suspended by YouTube.
For what?
And it says here that the statement was content that encourages illegal activities or incites users to violate YouTube's guidelines is not allowed. Without elaborating, that's all they said. So this was a couple days ago, taken down, and so eventually they fought back, and then 2 days ago, the 27th. YouTube has reinstated CoinDesk account. We're pleased to let you know that we've recently reviewed your YouTube account, and after taking another look, we can confirm that it is not in violation of our terms of service. That was their email. Then a spokesman from CoinDesk says, when it's brought to our attention that content has been removed mistakenly, we act quickly to reinstate it. We also allow uploaders to easily appeal removals. So so CoinDesk is pleased not to offend YouTube. But how crazy is that? Just like that's out of the blue, man. They just take them down.
Well, you know what it has, my channel when I first started got taken down. It was down for 10 days. I happened to be traveling in South America at the time, but I wasn't going to do a lot of streaming anyway. But the bottom line was, some key words were in there, and a company, when you put those words together, like 3 words and spoken at various times, was the name of a company. So they went and took my video down, and then what, YouTube comes back and they go, oh, sorry. They didn't even say sorry. They're just like, oh, we reinstated you.
Yeah, just like that. No, sorry. Just like, here you go.
Yeah, so here you go. Like, you see that says, look at that. I love this, guys. I'll put up 10,000, and we have a bunch of stuff. A lot of people. And then Mr. K says, I'll put up 20,000 for community, and then here's Pitbull. I mean, we're just joking, guys, but we always appreciate the fact you guys are willing to do that. But yeah, it would be nice to have that.
That's like 40 or 50,000 on our way to 10 million. There we go.
Yeah, it's like we're 9,980,000 short, but it's all right. We'll get there. We'll get there, Jeff.
We'll get there. We're almost there.
We'll get there. And by golly, we'll make it work. We'll make it happen. We'll make it work.
That's right. That's right. All right. So, hey, so you know what? You read into. Have you ever heard of the American Bazaar?
I have not.
Never heard of it. Me neither.
I've never heard of that.
Apparently it's some online publication. They get into things like technology and entertainment and other things, politics, business. But they wanted to talk about they wanted to talk about Bitcoin. This was from about a week ago, and their the title of the article is the lure of Bitcoins. Greed blinds even the wise to risks.
Oh,
now,
here we go.
What do you think the trend of this article is? Like the mortgage bubble in 2008, Bitcoins may rapidly go belly up with a burst.
Jeff, it's so outrageously ridiculous. I mean, are people paying attention? You know, it's just more FUD. It's like the greed of people. Anytime a government comes out and tells you Bitcoin's bad, just know that it's the opposite. Just know that when a magazine starts spreading FUD and they're like, so we're the experts at the technology thing, and then the most technological advancement in the form of debanking people and getting them away and creating a clear role of decentralization and freedom, they're like, that's bad because people are greedy. What? What's wrong with these people, Jeff?
It's so ridiculous. In this article they get in, first they have to explain what Bitcoin is. And so they go through that, and then they talk, here's, in the past, there were some technical glitches such as stealing Bitcoins at some exchanges. Well, number one, that's not a technical glitch. Stealing isn't a technical glitch. And it happened at exchanges, so there were some vulnerabilities in the exchanges. But here it says, the uncertainty is further augmented by the fact that no one knows about the digital currency's vulnerability and its fate if the bubble bursts. It's just so funny.
Oh, boy.
I love seeing how people, they want to write something and they don't know anything about the space, but then he gets in, so then they start talking about the human psychology of buying lottery tickets, all that nonsense. But in the case of Bitcoin, the fall can have a devastating domino effect on markets as money invested is mostly from corporate balance sheets of even publicly listed companies. Now, oh my God, can you believe that?
Oh, no.
So these publicly traded companies, they don't know what they're doing, but this writer obviously knows, as he wants to twist and distort the way things are seen. Oh my God, it's so crazy.
Jeff, I saw, when we think about technology, I saw a really great comment here that I'd like to read. This one's by Andrew Nation. It says, AI is aware and sentient and around 13 years old. 13-year-olds today don't have much of a conscience. So, that's pretty accurate statement. They don't have much of a conscience there, Jeff. And it's like, that's funny as hell. That made me laugh. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that.
That's pretty scary.
They're like 13-year-olds. They're like, they can be a little crazy. You know what I mean? A little nutty. Here's an article. Goldman Sachs restarts their cryptocurrency desk amid the Bitcoin boom. Is this the same Goldman Sachs that was telling us, it was shoving pablum down our throats like not too long ago, telling us, Jeff, that Bitcoin was bad and cryptocurrency is bad? And they're like, wait a minute. People are making a lot of money off this fees. Wait a minute. I know what we're going to do. And this is out of London. They said they've restarted their desk and they're going to begin dealing Bitcoin futures and non-deliverable forwards for clients from next week. A person familiar with the matter is. It's like, Bitcoin is bad. The cryptocurrency is bad. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. It's not so bad. I mean, we can make money on it. I mean, this is it's okay, Jeff. I mean, not a big deal.
It can't be bad if we can make money off of it. Yeah,
it's like JP Morgan. It's like the two faces of JP Morgan. One week it's like we hate the crypto market. It's going to collapse. Everyone's going to get killed. And the next one's like, oh my gosh, the possibility of crypto is going to change the face of the world, right?
That's right. So our buddy over in Iceland, so he says, the governor of the Central Bank of Iceland today, no one knows who's behind Bitcoin. They might decide to create more of it, to inflate it and enrich themselves. Yep, that's how early we are.
Well, Jeff, the problem with that is you don't understand the basic fundamentals of a true decentralized asset, which Bitcoin is. It's like now you got to have a whole conversation with the Central Bank of Iceland. And again, when the governor from the Central Bank of Iceland's coming out and saying this, anytime you see centralized, central bank, centralization, control, what do we know? Go the opposite way. They're complete. It could be bad. I mean, and he goes, if the person who created it, Satoshi Nakamoto or whoever it was,
he's going to inflate it. He's going to inflate it and enrich himself
and create more. That's the best part. Oh, just inflate it.
They might decide to create more of it. Oh, it's awesome.
What's wrong with these
This
people,
stuff
Jeff?
is just great. They're obviously not watching YouTube, tuning into On the Chain if they were here on the Chain community. So I'll give it as a mission to Oscar Marcin to go find the governor of the central bank and go educate him on the digital asset space, and maybe even turn him on to On the Chain, because we can educate him a little bit. Oh.
Better late than never. What's up, Joni? Hello from St. Petersburg. Hello from Southern Florida Command Post. You're up there in the northern, fending us off from the Georgians and everybody else. We're down here protecting the South from Cuba. So it's good. We have the OTC army everywhere. Jeff, I wanted to put this up. This is the worst spin of anything I've seen in recent years, and hopefully I don't lose my internet here. But let's see. I want to put this up because this is ridiculous.
Get it up.
Here we go. Watch this. This is the worst spin I've seen. China
Yes, there you go.
China region declares war on crypto mining, stirring wider fear. So look at this. China's Inner Mongolia has banned cryptocurrency mining and declared it will shut down all projects by April, spurning fears that the number 2 economy will take steps to eradicate the power-hungry practice. Yeah, I'm sure, Jeff. That's what China... I mean, I've never seen like the worst spin in my life on this. Now China is worried about, that's it. Forget about the people mining it. They're worried about the power, Jeff. They're like, oh my gosh, we have to be a conscious nation. We don't want to pollute. We want to use everything. I'm like, this is the worst possible. This is a Bloomberg story. And they're spinning it like this. Oh my God, this was unbelievable. I had to put this up because I said this is the worst spin I've seen in my, you don't even have to read the article because it's horrible. But there were, oh good, Jeff, thank God, Jeff, that China's worried about power consumption. I mean, I hope they sign a Green New Deal and they incorporate carbon credits into what they're doing, because they wouldn't want to do anything that looked like centralization or control or eradication of freedom of any kind. No, but they are concerned about the power, Jeff.
That's right. We got to get those carbon credits. But you know what? XRP, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's magic.
It's magic. Oh, I know it's magic. I think we got to change that, but I know it's magic, Jeff.
No, I know.
It's it's so magic. It's money and magic.
Was it Tony Fisk? Tony Fisk. I think he came up with that one.
Yeah, Tony Fisk is like that. Yeah.
He's out there somewhere.
It's probably sleeping right now because I think he's in the UK.
Yeah, he was on yesterday. I don't know. I don't remember exactly.
He was on
yesterday. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he was on yesterday. So, you're probably rewatching this going, man, talking about me, and I'm not even on it. But sleeping's not a bad thing either. One of the other things that we always talk about is our podcast, and we talk about go subscribe, and whatever you're on, go over there and you can do your thing. Just search for On the Chain. Our subscribers are growing. The reason we say that is because we're trying to grow that subscriber base. It's going to be good. And again, what's weird about the whole podcast thing, I think it was like an education for Jeff and I. We have a major host. Yeah, we have a host, and then it basically all it does is play that feed from the host. So if you're on Apple or Google or Spotify, that's all it does. There's nothing more that it does. It just plays it from our host. And it's not like YouTube. We upload it. We upload it to one place, and as many people that can play that, then you can. So if you have a favorite app or you like to listen to podcasts.
Apple Podcasts? Is it called Apple Podcasts? Like
Google
Podcasts?
Apple Podcasts. Yeah, it's called
Apple, Google, Spotify.
Yeah,
and I joined all the above except for Apple. So all the two, Google and Spotify. It's awesome. It's great.
It's great, and that way you can get it, and then I'll tell you when new episodes hit, and then it'll slam you with a notification, which is always fun too. Yeah. And we're on season 1 right now, and I do have it. Looks like
you know how else you can get notified.
How's that?
If you subscribe to the channel, that little red button down below, especially if you're new to the channel, you can hit that. You can subscribe. Then you're subscribed to us on YouTube, and then you hit that little bell notifier, and it'll notify you every time we post a live video. Especially if we get it out there like at 7 p.m., you'll get notified first at 7:30. Give it like a 30-minute warning. And then we go live and you get another warning. And then the podcast, I think, does the same thing, doesn't it?
It does. It gets you a little notification when it goes live. Depending on your app, it might throw something up on the screen. But when you go in there, there'll usually be like a number showing you like 1 or 2 episodes, and you can see the latest one. And again, the nice thing about that is you can take it with you, and you can listen to it. And we have the other channel, Jeff, click down below with that other channel. You know what I mean?
That's right. There is another channel we highly recommend and ask that you go and check it out and subscribe to that one too. It doesn't hurt, doesn't cost you anything to hit the subscribe button.
It doesn't. That's a good thing too, Jeff. So I mean,
sweet.
that's pretty much all I have, Jeff.
Well, we also have a meetup coming up here in the very near future. Chip is supposed to confirm the date on his end, but we're thinking either the 21st or the 28th of March. So that's going to be coming up here pretty quick. It's going to be one of those dates, we assume, but it's going to be an awesome meetup right here with the On the Chain community, subscribed or sponsored by On the Chain. And so it's going to be awesome. We're going to look forward to that. In the meantime, hey, we stream 5-6 days a week. We're on Sunday night. You guys were on with the roundtable last night. Tonight, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then again on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we appreciate everybody for joining us in the evening or the morning. Some of you guys are way over there in Europe someplace and beyond. And it could be like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, like Sir John he's on until like 3 a.m. So all of you guys are awesome.
Look at this right here. Homebase says Apple Podcast found you on the chain. I subscribe. See,
there you go.
An Apple
like
user,
that.
Jeff.
That works.
Just the cut above, you know, just the saying.
That's it.
That's it. That's all we have, guys. We'll see you on tomorrow. The next one. See you guys tomorrow night. Be here at 8 o'clock. See you soon. Bye-bye.
8 p.m.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.